kills anytime they found RPG split. But RPG, in terms of team fights, they had a better team fighting comp, lots more burst.
Yeah, wonderful display here by RPG. Once again, not only did they get an extremely strong draft, they also executed it almost perfectly with a couple of missteps.
And this is how you take a cheeky second win. You take to Towers of Doom and you hope, and that's how you were able to do that. I like it. I'm surprised they didn't go to Tomb, but then again, they may have a similar issue on Tomb as SPT do.
And if we compare Towers of Doom to Brex's holdout from Game 1, Tetra, this map caters a lot more towards RPG's playstyle, ignoring altars, going for the split push, going for the split soaking with heroes like Dehaka. But look at their record, it's actually not that impressive.
It isn't, but neither's SPT's. Only 1-1. Both of these teams not too comfortable here. And RPG just relying that their style could work better here than SPT's. I expect SPT to probably go for a bot lane domination comp, whereas RPG will probably take an Illidan or something like that if it's allowed to them, or a Dehaka, and just try and dominate top lane and mid lane.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what they're going to be going for. It's really cool to see a clash of styles here as well. RPG being more of a cheeky team, as you said, you know, going for those sneaky maneuvers, whereas SPT is more of a traditional Chinese team, going for those flat-out all-in team fights and dominating them because of perfect or near-perfect communication and synergy. However, that really didn't help them too much in game number 1, and they're currently with their backs against the wall.
Indeed. So SPT get first pick. They should either ban Genji or ban Dehaka or Abathur or something like that. Maybe even Illidan. Because they love Genji for themselves, obviously, but they'd also like any of those other heroes. So maybe Abba ban, pick up Genji, or vice versa. But then again, if RPG don't ban Genji, then it becomes a very difficult, it becomes a big old set of mind games. You can see them rotating through a couple of those top options, the Abathur and the Illidan.
It almost feels like at this point you can't outban RPG, because as you said, you ban the Abathur, well, Illidan is still going to be a hero, or Dehaka that they will pick up with pleasure. So they're kind of
you ban Genji, they get all of those heroes. They get Abathur, they get Illidan. It's too many options. RPG, all of their stuff is scary. It's all like it's all that niche meta. It's all that map meta. It's not, oh, we're going to ban out the Ariel because double support assassin. They don't play that. It's very difficult to study for RPG.
And look at Loktar here in the bottom right in the webcam. He looks very happy, smiles all over the place. RPG looks very, very comfortable and very confident because already they made up for the very big disappointment yesterday against Wukong Gaming. I also gotta highlight Wang, who we see on the webcam here right now. Like, his Anubarak without Cocoon was something I haven't really seen in competitive before, and it looked absolutely stellar.
Would agree indeed. So RPG, what are they going to do? Banning out the Genji would be the correct move, I would say, because SPT will pick it up if they don't. Yeah, there we go. There we go. RPG.
It's safe to say that you just won a game largely because you had a Genji in your ranks, right? So you don't want to give it to SPT and repeat the enemy's team's mistakes.
We already know that SPT have probably one of the best Genjis in the world.
Yeah.
So removing that away from them, if you know you're not going to get it yourself, correct move so far.
I think we can draw some parallels here between SPT and Team Dignitas over in Europe. When you have a player like Melody C, who I would just want to compare to Mene at this point, and you force those double support comps all the time, it is no surprise that naturally you're going to perform a little bit weaker, or at least you're going to look a little bit weaker because you have those dominant assassin players, and sometimes I get the impression you can't force them into this support role. Would you agree on that?
Not sure. It's interesting. Like, he still works with it sometimes. It's just, I don't know. It's that very much depends on the team. I would say. I'm not sure it's as much the case with SPT as it is with
But wouldn't you agree that SPT has looked way stronger when Melody was playing heroes like Genji and Greymane?
Oh, yes, absolutely. But I would argue that has also a lot to do with the fact that Genji is Genji.
True. That is certainly true, but just remember, like all the other times when he played the likes of, you know, the Greymane.
Tass is always good.
The Tasser is solid, I guess. Yeah. That is.
If we're the hero, the Uther, I do not think is the hero for him. I agree on that. I would like to have seen him play maybe Malfurion and just go full damage Malfurion. That would have been cool.
Full Boomkin.
Yeah, he did wreck Genji in one of those fights with just like the double stun combo. Second Genji came in, instant reaction.
True.
Destroyed. So that was cool.
That was very cool. Now, what is Chicken going to play? The man we see on the bottom right here. So far, nothing really has been chosen. Yeah, oh yeah. Saz Uther is here. Locktar's Greymane most likely.
I played something else. Leave me alone. I'm going back to Uther and never coming out again. So, very nice combo there.
Back into the warm arms of Uther, embracing the paladin life. I like it. Now, SPT, do they want to go double support again? Or do they want to go for a more classic approach? A little bit more of an aggressive style? Because that's always something I truly enjoyed about SPT as well. Like going for those aggressive composition. Forcing something from the enemy team. Bringing the fight to them rather than just countering what they have. That's basically what they had to do last game, right? They always had to wait for RPG to make a move and disengage or counter from there. And that didn't really always fit their style.
Indeed. So, like I said earlier, I would very much like to see SPT go for a bot lane domination comp. So, any kind of single pusher.
Ariel available right now?
This would be perfect. Ariel gets let through as we see Rhaegar coming in for SPT. And that's sneaky because they can still go double support with this.
They could, yeah. Greymane is not really the most popular solo hypercarry these days, but it could definitely work, especially if you have a player like Locktar on him. The Rhaegar being prioritized over Oriel. I think SPT just banks on the point that RPG doesn't want to go double support with Uther Oriel. Maybe they've got something planned with Rhaegar as well. I mean, look at their draft so far. Dehaka, Arthas. Some of the counters to Illidan are already taken away. Like a strong soul laner against Illidan, Dehaka.
Yeah.
The Arthas, attack speed slow. The Rhaegar is here to support him even more. They could go for a cheeky Illidan.
They could. They really could. I would like to see it. There is already a stun for RPG in the form of Uther to try and deal with that, but not a huge amount else.
Yeah, let's see what the ban could be. I mean, they could also just steal it away, right? They're going to be the ones picking first after all. And Chicken is a masterful Illidan player, but they take it away.
Ban it. Nice. Okay, so banning the Illidan, like you said, they wouldn't have wanted to play it maybe potentially into Arthas and Dehaka. So instead, they take it away. Now, Chicken can still play stuff like Zeratul or Ragnaros.
True. But already, Tetra, we don't have any of the classic heroes for RPG that enable their split pushing style, right? Illidan with the Hunt, that would have been a marvelous choice. Dehaka was already picked away by SPT. So who's really left? Falstad?
Falstad maybe, but that doesn't seem like a Chicken hero really. So, very interesting. Like Thrall, Ragnaros are two of his, and Zeratul are like his top three that are left. Malthael's still available, and that's still really good against Arthas.
Alright, Tacit are also available. Like, there's so many heroes still in this draft that are so heavily prioritized, but for some reason, neither of the team really wants to go for them here.
Right now, I'm leaning towards Malthael or Zeratul, for Chicken, at least. Wang still needs a tank, so he's got plenty of options. He's got Muradin, he's got a noob again if he wants
Stitches.
to the Rhaegar, Stitches, exactly.
I would love to see a Stitches here, actually.
It's a good comp for it.
And it's by far one of his best battlegrounds, too. Like, you have so many narrow choke points.
Leo exists!
What? New hero?
Exists. Oh my god, and Li Ming!
What is going on?
Li Ming. Nice! Oh my god, so is that a Chicken Leo? Hold up, let me master league this, see if he's ever played it.
If you go Royal Focus build and Lingering Apparition, you can still double soak and you can still basically ignore teamfights.
Yeah. And the draining on Arthas? Okay, hold up. Heroes. Leoric.
I don't think Chicken has ever played it. No.
He's never played it, so is it a Wang hero? Wang.
Maybe.
Heroes. He's never played it either. This team does not played Leoric. I mean, not many have. Okay, so we're kind of down to infinity here. Yeah,
the statistics you just saw basically implement both Phase 1 and Phase 2. That's 2 seasons. Yeah. And out of all the games we've had in those 2 seasons, only 1% Leoric was involved in. That is absurd.
And none of them were from RPG by the looks of it. I'm just hovering over here. I'm looking at their full team stuff here. And Leoric is... Where is Leoric on this list? Lucio, Lunara. I'm not seeing Leoric at all.
Tetra, look at what SPT just brought to the table. They're going full tryhard mode.
Oh dear, that's scary.
That is
there's Leo.
very scary. Now we still need a main tank for RPG. The Stitches, it needs to be the Stitches, right? Hook into Entomb, hook into anything here.
Yeah, but I don't know who's playing what. It's so confusing.
I mean, if you pick Stitches,
that's gotta be a chicken Leo, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got Loktar on the Li Ming or the
Infinity and Loktar are set in stone here.
Infinity on the Grey Mane or the Li Ming, I would hope on the Grey Mane. And there's the tank. That's tank for Wang. Or chicken, I guess.
Fantastic.
Like, both are viable for either one.
So here's a strong reason
they haven't
why.
Played Chen before either.
Yeah, here's a strong reason why they didn't pick Stitches, I believe, because of Medivh. Like if you hook someone and Medivh is on point, he's gonna drop a portal in there, and all of your hook values were
possible the
in
damage.
Vain. Exactly. Exactly.
Going to cut bullet.
Instead, they go for the thick Illidan here. Beautiful.
RPG have not played. You can look at this. See, they're watching this. They need this info.
Yeah.
So RPG have not played either of these two heroes, Leoric or Chen, since they've had this roster.
Yep.
They just haven't played it, and basically that's the only roster they've ever had. So yeah, these are new heroes. They are bringing out alternate strategies just to get this cheeky win against SPT, and there's no way SPT could have prepared for this unless it was shown in scrims.
And there, if I recall correctly, there are hardly any stuns against the Chen. They had Arthas, they had Dehaka. Good. The drag could be one tool, but it's not reliable.
Yeah.
Lunara, Medivh, nothing available. Is it going to be enough, though, for RPG to take home the series? Or is SPT going to tie it out in a 1-1? We're going to find out in a bit.
It is go time, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 of this best of 2 series, our second series of the day, and spawning on the left-hand side. It is Super Perfect Team with Jen Zhao playing the Lunara, Melise on the Medivh, Misaka on the Arthas, Wings on the Dehaka, and ZZH on the Rhaegar.
Currently leading the series is none other than RPG. Big surprise. We have Chicken on the Leoric, Wang on the Chen indeed, Sa on Uther, Infinity on his Li Ming, and Loktar going for the Wolfman, going for Greymane. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Phase 2 of HGC China, we get to see Leoric, and it is played by none other than Chicken, the prime melee assassin player. How strong can he become? Did you hear about the incoming Chen changes, by the way?
No, I have not.
There was a forum post by one of the Blizzard developers, and they said that they would change the way Fortifying Brew works. So instead of, just building up consistently, they would give him 25 shielding immediately, and then make the remaining brew fill up slower. So if you're low in HP, for example, and you need to drink, you would always get a little bit of an immediate shielding, and which makes Chen a little bit more durable.
Okay, that makes sense. I like it. Cool. But now, though, utilizing what is already available on Chen, getting that spell shield, protecting against that Medivh poking that Lunara for the start.
Yeah, really solid. Like, there's hardly any physical damage available for SPT. So going for that spell resistance on the brew is definitely the way to go here. Strong against Medivh, Lunara, Arthas, you name it, they got it. And also, look at the power hungry for Li Ming. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be in a position where you're going to get globes too often.
Yeah.
Sar actually in danger here. Li Ming trying to be a distraction here while Sar escapes. And Infinity may have just killed himself here. Poison damage. Get to Uther.
Healing
Uther,
fountain.
help.
Healing fountain.
Run to bounce it. Uther. Heal me. There we go. He's safe. He's safe. The poison might still have been enough to kill him if he hadn't done that. So very nicely done. But Uther does still die. Good kill by SPT. That's going to be first blood.
First blood going over to SPT, of course. Nothing really drastic or major happened so far. Li Ming is going to be back. Uther is going to be back in good shape as well. Medivh going for the Portal Mastery here, by the way. Going for the longer duration, it seems. And he keeps being annoying. Melody, see, that is.
He's using as much time as possible. Loktar was trying to out-predict him. Here comes Misaka through the portal. Chicken is out of there, almost dead. but he does survive, and this is a raid coming in from SPT. They already have their own.
Yeah.
They've grabbed the ones in mid as well. Lunara trying to at least get a kill out of this.
They need
as
level
well.
4. They need level 4 RPG, that is.
They're behind on talents, and right now, RPG, they are behind an altar. And they may be behind 2 altars if they're not careful. Finally, they move in. Find Misaka, but Portal denies that. But at least RPG pick up their own objective.
Yeah,
so
very
they're only
important.
1 behind as opposed to 2 behind.
Very important, because if they had lost all 3 altars, that would have set them behind so much. But even as it is, look at the immediate response by SPT, sending Dehaka back to lane, allowing Medivh to scout and roam as well, resulting in them having half a level lead. So already, despite not getting all 3 altars, SPT in a fantastic position.
Yes, they are looking very, very good at the start of this game. RPG will pick up their objective and then run away, as they do not want to get caught out of position.
No.
Ken, by the way, for the deadly strike,
Yep.
that 100% damage increase while you have your shield of Fortifying Brew active.
Is Jen gonna jump over? He was trying to get himself into position to maybe sneakily jump over the wall. Got caught by Lunara though, and had to retreat. Same goes for Infinity. If he gets licked here, that might be a certain death. But they turn it around on wings! Uses the burrow though to get to safety, and now Infinity once again under pressure.
Infinity is rooted, teleports out, barely surviving the feral lunge, and now ZZH put himself out of position. Chen comes in out of nowhere, surprise Panda, as they move forward. Locktar looking for the kill, but not enough damage.
Locktar dodging the Howling Blast here with his Greymane Worgen attack. Beautifully done, but Arthas makes it out alive anyway. Now, look at Chicken's build on the Leoric. Not going for the Royal Focus, which is normally the go-to these days. Speaking of Chicken, by the way, he is going to make it.
Chicken. So nice. Yeah, Filthy Unto Death coming in as the level 4, going for that lane sustain.
Yeah, lane sustain, mana regen, health regen, additional value here guaranteed. Keep in mind that Fealty Unto Death also works on allied minions. So when your allied minions die, you still get the regeneration bonus, not just enemy ones. Yeah, Calamity here, Dominance here for Li Ming. She's going full Bruiser battle build. I like it. Medivh going for Master's Touch, always interesting. If Melody C dies here before being fully stacked, it's going to be a long time until he has that value.
Qian Zhao getting zoned out a little bit.
Through it.
Wang tanking through. As in the meantime, though, Li Ming having issues. Arthas sneaking in from behind Portal. Tempted. Gives me Misaka an escape route. So it looks like they are just going to... Oh, no, maybe they're not going to trade 1-for-1 as a sneaky Greymane down in the bot lane was attempting to cap.
Man, Infinity
still getting bullied. Misaka, please leave. Stop.
Infinity really seems to be the go-to target here all of the time for SPT. Li Ming not having an easy time in this game at all. Now it is Shuang Zhao, though, who's getting kind of focused here, dropping below 50%.
He has arrived, getting harassed by Medivh, though. They're finally going to at least get a bot. Now they can put all their focus on top. As Leo has been holding it this entire time, being a great distraction. Good job, Chicken. Chen, very careful there. He knows he's tanky, but he's not 4 people tanky. And
massive cocktail there. Massive cocktail by Greymane, hitting 3 to 4 people, bringing them low even more. You see the Paralyzing Rage, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, on Leoric for his level 7 choice, which means he has a massive slow available to lock enemy targets down.
And Chen with bolder flavor, instant shields. Now this does synergize a little bit better with the Deadly Strike than something like Brewmaster's Balance would. So cool to see.
Also makes him even harder to kill for the enemy damage sources. I mean, thanks to his spell resistance at level 1, he's already quite hard to lock down and kill. Oh, I mean, Melody C, don't die here!
Stacks! Stacks! Oh my god, Melody C. Clutch escape. It took 1 more hit, but he survived. Infinity may not. There's the cleanse, keeping him alive. Had a protection taken by Uther for this exact reason. As Infinity moves back in, dropping the damage onto Wings. Can they finish him? Maybe not, but it looks like RPG will at least be able to take this objective. They will get Wings eventually.
Yeah, oh my god. The shield was almost there. I think if he had used shield before the portal, and he could have actually saved him, don't you think? Like he dropped the portal down first before the shield?
I think the portal was there because Dehaka was already underground. I think it was literally a situation of I'm going to spam W and hope, but the Li Ming timed literally as Dehaka came up and was a little bit quicker.
I mean, Dehaka dying here was not the end of the world. They only lost an altar, but I think if Medivh had fallen there, that would have been way worse because all those Master's Touch stacks would have gone poof.
Yes. Oh, that would have been a disaster. Such a clutch escape. I hope someone clipped that. That was so close. as we do have level 10 hit for both teams. Leyline Seal, Army of the Dead, adaptation, kinda needs it, not surprising. Leaping Strike and question mark, like, yeah, it's gotta be Ancestral. Yeah. You got a Bloodlust, Medivh. As the RPG, they have the Entomb, Wave of Force, the Cursed Bullet, Divine Shield, and the Earth Storm Fire.
Shout out also to RPG Saw here on the Uther, by the way, because that cleanse on Infinity was clutch. It was life-saving, because that Dahaka engage otherwise would have definitely ended his life. So we called him the kind of weak link earlier, but I think on the Uther, he looks like a whole different player. Like, he looks exceptionally strong.
By the way, Greymane just burned Cursed Bullet a little bit ago, straight into Force of Will, so 0 value from that. Very unfortunate. Don't know if you caught that.
If he does it later, it's going to give him a lot of healing.
Yeah, exactly. But for now, he was fine. What was that talent that synergized with the reabsorption and gave like infinite healing? I can't remember what that was.
I don't remember.
It's been fixed now, but there was a talent that if you got hit by it or used it on yourself, it would just insta heal you for infinite amounts of damage. I
mean, they can look at Wang. They just can't kill him.
Sustain.
They locked him down in the holding blast. They unleashed all of their damage onto him, and he was just laughing at it. He was just letting. Okay.
Oh, Pandas for the save. Couldn't brew because he was being stunned by the hacker. Pops the Pandas, and it's a trade 1-for-1, which means RPG still a little bit further ahead. There are mercenaries pushing their bot lane, though, which are about
That's so much value for the Medivh. Did you see
Last laugh. That's the one. Thank you.
3 Pandaren Pels just gave him 3 stacks for the Master's Touch. That is so unfortunate for Chen, but really, really good for Melody C.
That does happen sometimes. Not a huge amount you can do about it either. Medivh scouting around, Chicken. Doing really well in the solo lane so far. I've had no issues with how he's been playing his Leoric, so cool to see.
Yeah, really, really solid so far. Holding the lane clean.
Oh, Misaka.
And they didn't see him. There we go. Now saw.
Surprise. Dahaka coming in as well. Locktar in danger. Gets healed. Lots of armor. Cleanse to prevent the drag. And he is fine. The Leaping Strike trying to finish him off. Divine Shield is used. Camp is stolen. Leyline
huge!
On the back line 2 tanks. The Entomb zones out his own team. Not ideal here. Now to try to focus down Melody C, who gets Ancestral. Chicken coming in. They dive on him and kill him off. 2 kills. Both the damage dealers here technically as they look for Misaka as well, but they can't chase him down. But that's still 2 kills for RPG. No objective for them to capitalize on, but they can at least clear out the lanes.
Yeah, the Entomb didn't really, hit that many people, but it was great for zoning and separating each other, SPT that is, and the focus fire was so good. SPT just split themselves too much. They win for the Greymane in the back, but the Divine Shield also saved him, and then of course it was Infinity's time to shine on that Leaping, and as you can see, 0 stacks left for for Medivh, and that is very, very sad. I think SPT slowly but surely falling apart, Tetcher.
Yes, this is looking potentially dangerous for SPT. Could RPG take
pull it
the
off?
2-0 here? It's looking possible. Talents, even. Levels, even. Core health, not even. RPG still sneakily ahead.
They want to force it.
Single altar phase. Leoric is in mid lane. He can rotate down. Doesn't have the lingering apparition though.
Wang just won't fall. They never have to worry about Wang. Look at the armor, look at the shields, look at the counter healing as well. Wang is the rock solid frontliner they need.
Yeah, Leo is on the way. They want to try and make something happen here. There's a camp as well, so Leo is going to help clear this. Focus Lunara. She's able to Leaping Strike out. There's the Entomb, though. Can they make something out of this? The Assassins aren't really dropping a huge amount of damage as Chicken is being forced to retreat. Wang is getting focused. Pandas keep him alive. There's not enough CC to stop him doing this every time.
Yeah, they buy a lot of time here, forcing out the portal by Melody C. He's in the backline. Is he going to fall again? Yes, he is. Resets for Li Ming have commenced.
Wang drops a huge amount of health, but he's sustaining through armor from Uther. Drops in for the damage. So much commitment to fight. Wang never dies as they focus onto Wings here. The adaptation does pop. Lockdown getting chased down by Arthurs. The shots are taken, though. A Chicken for the body block onto Misaka, looking for it. Chen finally falls. He is not immortal.
It took them quite a while to finally get rid of that Pandaren Brewmaster in their front line, or in their back line, excuse me. But he died once again for the greater good. Tactical feeding was commenced. RPG got the turn in. That's all they wanted. Now they just need to make sure that SPT won't go for the mercenary camp.
Yeah, they really need to be careful and protect that camp as much as they can. They need to actually start taking camps. They haven't done a huge amount of that. So, reminder guys, this is a best of 2. At the moment, the best Super Perfect team could hope for is a single point, which is, to be fair, all they need to make sure that they, even on the draw with CE tomorrow, will still come in first place. But if RPG defeat them here, then Super Perfect team can either come in first place if they 2-0 CE, draw with CE if they go 1-1 with CE, or lose if they go 0-2.
Yeah. Either way, like if SPT wins this game, CE's chances of actually making it to the top 1 spot again have significantly increased. So hopefully we're not going to have too many freezes in that game, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is by far the most exciting series we have witnessed in Phase 2 as of late. Oh, beautiful dodge by Misaka. Look at that stutter stamping. Loktar, you just got fooled.
Yes, you did. What delay are you on, by the way? I think you're a little bit behind me now.
Yeah, I think I just had a mini. Let me refresh real quick.
Okay. Yeah, do very quick. The ultras are spawning. I'm on 7.
Yep. I'm sitting on 7-2. Got it.
Perfect. We good. We good. Wang, clear it out mid lane for the moment, preparing for the objective. NDC attempted a Gagok check-in, but Wraith Warg check-in is out of there. Its mercenary cap will go in and do some damage, but it won't be enough for a kill. Sar, on the other hand, in danger. Curse Bullet is dropped to try and dissuade this chase from happening, but it's still a 3 versus 2. Divine Shield has to be used, which means they are trading out here. And Super Perfect Team will take more shots again.
Yeah, they take more shots.
That will even up core health.
Yeah, they took more shots, but I think it was still a good trade-off here for Sa, because if he had died, like if you die on Towers of Doom, you can really get punished for having those staggered deaths, because then the enemy team can maybe catch you while rotating for bell towers. So I really agree with Sa here, popping the Divine Shield. Definitely the right call.
Once again, I can't maths, by the way. RPG still ahead by 1 set of shots here, still 4 core health ahead. We have a quick pause coming in here. Had a rough time. Wang will be able to escape this. Not the best position, but he will be able to escape.
Yeah, I think Chen is definitely going to be safe here. I think his Pandaren Pels have been available, or are available as well. So if things get really dire for him, he can still escape this way. Yesterday, guys, we also had a little bit of a pause going on here because of connection issues. Hopefully, it won't really take... I mean, to be fair, yesterday it didn't really take long either, but hopefully it's not going to be anything serious. Don't really know what's going on. Let me actually...
Oh, we're back in.
Okay, there we go.
There's a very short pause for some reason. We do not know why. Now, though, everything seems to be fine. Players, back and ready at it.
I mean, sometimes you just need to scratch your ears, right? Could get a little bit itchy under those headsets.
Very true. Very true. For now, we see that RPG were able to defend their bot lane as well. A little bit of pressure was put onto that by Lunara and co, as they were able to do some damage. And for now, SPT, this game is insanely even. Both teams putting pressure on each other. Both teams almost trading kills. SPT a little bit further behind in terms of the kills and XP and core health. It's just only slight leads. Everything can turn around so quickly.
All right, as you said, Tetra, everything can still turn around. RPG, they must not falter. They must not let themselves down and lose focus. If they continue to play like they did, they have very good chances of actually taking home the victory of the series. Look at Wang's build, by the way, going full flying kick, and I love it. Now he has a longer range on it and a lower cooldown, and he hits harder.
Yeah, the good old Jackie Chen build coming in.
In a longer range too.
Good old high kicks, looking for wings. Not able to, they don't go super hard on Twimsies. EH is there, they have cleanse if they need it. Not that you can really cleanse a huge amount other than the Yorick slow or the Chen slow, which is not ideal to burn a cleanse on, but cleanse is cleanse.
Alright, only 1 altar. I mean, it's not lights out for either of the teams if they lose it, but RPG definitely wants to make sure that they don't let it go without at least pulling up a fight here. Misaka being in good shape, Melissy just scouting in his bird form. Caw-caw! And Leoric and Dehaka fighting in the top lane. Of course, Dehaka can join a lot quicker, so Leoric needs to be careful on when he decides to rotate.
Yeah, and instead we're not seeing an attempt at the altar here. It looks like RPG may actually give up the altar because they're being very slow with the rotation. Some maximum range denial there as Wang.
Leoric is inbound.
Moving in.
What?
They're too slow with the cocktail. Shots taken by SPT. Big mistakes indeed.
I think Wang was relying on Loktar to really land that cocktail because he was in range for the flying kick. He didn't use it. He used it on Lunara instead. And that was so unfortunate. A millisecond there. A little bit of a mistake, but that could cost them.
It could. They're now even on core health. XP is still almost identical. Both these teams are just creeping their way towards the end of the game. Both teams over halfway through on their core health. Focus onto wings. Not enough damage. Curse Bullet was used earlier, was not available.
Yeah, still, I love the positioning by RPG, really setting up those ambushes, really going for those traps, and they inflict heavy damage on SPT. Arthur's taking the Cursed Bullet, Dehaka falling victim to 3 peoples in a bush, so they really cause SPT to walk and tread very carefully around the map, and both teams are so even in terms of global XP.
Chicken fleeing, making sure that he does not get caught out of position. Medicine building stacks. I don't know if he's complete yet. Oh, portaling out of the Entomb. This is why Entomb does not usually work on Medivh, but yeah, do we know if he's fully stacked yet?
I don't think he is, because I haven't seen a blue shimmer, I haven't seen the statistics in the lower third, so I think he still needs a couple. I mean, he died twice, right? So
yeah, he has. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye out for that shimmer. As Merely C may drop out of bird form, dropping a portal for Misaka, giving him an escape. Curse Bullet once again down.
Now the level 13 talent for Medivh, of course, lowers the cooldown of his portal as well. So ideally, there should always be one ready. I'm not sure if they should focus on Chicken here. Even ZZH here, the main support, not with the team. That could really cost them because they didn't even get the kill on Leoric. He can still rotate, and Rhaegar's going to take a while. He teleported back to base, and he needs to get there quickly. Spectral Leech. Huge power spike for Leoric.
Yes. Huge power spike indeed. The Gilnean Roulette as well. Considering how much he's just been using it on a cooldown, Loktar is going to really enjoy that cooldown reduction.
Yeah. Definitely very important. Look at Misaka now, in trouble.
Loktar gets rooted. Wang taking damage. Nice portal micro, jumping back and forth. 2 altars are available. Leo looks like he may rotate in a second here. As for now, the pandas have been popped quite early here as they poke down Jin down with that great focus damage. Dehaka, for the denial, does deny that bottom altar for the moment and puts a lot of pressure, but adaptation is popped. He will be fine.
Okay, also beautiful disengage by Wang, not really ending his Pandaren pelts in the middle of the enemy team. Infinity takes heavy damage in the backline!
He gets taken out and shit gets portal, and we see Lunara portal out as well. That's the first kill in this fight. Curse Bullet dropped from Misaka as they're trying to drain through him. The Entomb onto the backline, trying to focus down Rhaegar. The ley line sealed though, gets almost everyone. Ancestral onto Lunara, she shreds the damage. Divine Shield keeping Rhaegar Greymane alive though, as he has to disengage into the backline. Leo dropping down from the poison. Uther heals Loktar instead. They are looking for Chen Zhao. They need anything right now. Wang is tanking through, but not enough. And it looks like RPG will lose this fight and potentially get a full team wipe as Loktar is the only surviving member. 1 leaping strike. The poison is just going to be enough in the end. Loktar down. And that is a full team wipe by SPT.
Why did they use the altar?
One before. They take the shots. Are they going to get the second one before this as well? Yeah, they got them both.
They used the altar already. They lost precious shots.
Yeah, they could have had 2 more shots there.
Yeah.
1 more shot at least. Master's Touch is complete, so that's good. But yeah, that was unnecessary. They could have been 2 away from victory if they went and got the boss right now.
And they could have also taken the mercenary camp as in the process. So huge miss here by SPT, not getting the full value out of these altars, but at least they're trying to go for more Baltars. However, they can really overextend. They need to be aware of Li Ming getting those resets. Beautiful disengage, Infinity, so no fear at all.
Too greedy, gets taken out. That was like he wanted to kill ZZH, but that was too much. Now he's so staggered. 60 seconds before he's alive again.
That could be game.
Down goes. That's all 3 forts. If they just get 4 shots from this before any of them are taken back, then that is going to be GG.
That's game.
Because they can go and take the boss. First shot. Second shot.
Which Beltar are they going to capture? Like, they have no leaning.
They're going for bot.
They're all coming back right now, and they should be able to defend this. Like, they have the lane line sealed. They can even stall this out even longer.
Okay, 4th shot. Boss is now lethal. Yep. So now they need to all in. They can't get the bell tower. There's too many heroes here. SPT just gotta wait this out, and that is going to be GG. Well played, SPT. Putting themselves in a favorable position for their match tomorrow. But what a game by RPG.
What a series by RPG. The draft looked so good for such a long period of time, but in the end, a couple of misplays here and there, and that near immaculate synergy by SPT gave them the victory they deserved. It is a 1-1 series. They take 1 point out of this series, once again maintaining and reclaiming their #1 seed. 1 point difference only to CE though.
Oh my god, RPG. They are showing that they have improved so much since when we saw them. We always liked them, but now they are beginning to show that they could be in that top 3 next season. I cannot wait to see how well they play when we get to after the Eastern Clash.
Oh boy.
Once again, though, they still have 1 game to play. Tomorrow they will be playing against KT, whereas, like we said, Super Perfect Team in the very last game of the day will be playing against CE. If they draw or win 2-0, SPT will remain in first. If CE takes a 2-0, then CE will become our #1 seed.
What an emotional roller coaster for RPG fans. Compare yesterday to today. Their strongest game, their weakest game yesterday. Tetra, how do you feel right now? I know RPG is very dear to you. How do you feel?
I feel so impressed and so excited about what the future holds for them right now. Like I said, next season after Eastern Clash, I am so excited to see how well they can do, because honestly, if they continue to keep growing like they are, they could go to BlizzCon at this point with how well they are playing as one of the Chinese representatives. And that would be awesome, because like I said, I want to see a Western audience chanting the name of Wang, and because that's amazing.